One of Blake's ex-friends, Gigi Hadid, who now publicly took a step away from Blake Lively.
But now, as of last week, she has officially been subpoenaed. She has been brought into the lawsuit.
Blake Lively just burned every celebrity bridge she ever walked on, losing Gigi Hadid, Cara Delevingne, and even her bestie Taylor Swift after attempting to blackmail her.
More people have overturned rocks and stones to find evidence. The more they've seen the patterns are that Justin Baldoni actually is a pretty good guy. That's just where they're at.
She didn't stop there. Bradley Cooper got pulled into a secret DGA violating disaster.
Speak about how Bradley Cooper has been dragged into this because he was thanked. It was a special thank to him at the end credit of it.
And now Blake is spinning in circles while Hollywood quietly exits stage left.
Blake Lively's witnesses, the ladies that are supposed to come stand by Blake Lively, where are they? Will they be at the trial? He shares some new tea there.
In May 2025, Brian Friedman's leaked letter straight up confirmed what everyone suspected but couldn't believe. Blake Lively blackmailed Taylor Swift. Not hinted at, not alleged, no. Full on, give me your loyalty or I'll detonate your life energy.
Those text messages have information about Taylor Swift's relationships. I also think they probably have text messages that Blake Lively don't want to get out there.
And what was the ransom? A decade's worth of private messages. 10 years. 10 freaking years. Imagine someone threatening to leak every dumb thing you've texted since 2015, from relationship drama to random 3 a.m. overshares. Taylor's entire digital life was apparently up for grabs. And all because Blake didn't want to go down alone in her mess with Justin Baldoni.
Blake Lively blackmailed Taylor Swift and threatened to expose all their text messages and their correspondence for the last 10 years if she didn't support her publicly.
But hold on, it gets worse. This wasn't even a spontaneous meltdown. Blake reportedly asked Taylor to delete their messages way back in September or October 2020, coincidentally right when Blake started prepping her lawsuit against Baldoni. Because nothing screams, I have a rock-solid case like deleting the receipts before you file. This isn't legal strategy. This is Mean Girls meets criminal conspiracy.
So asked Taylor Swift to delete their private text messages going back to September, October of last year, just when she probably allegedly started to plan this lawsuit against Justin Baldoni.
Now, let's talk about the absolute bombshell headline dropped by the Daily Mail on May 15th, 2025. According to them, those texts don't just contain your usual friendship gossip. They allegedly hold bedroom secrets about Travis Kelce, private confessions about Joe Alwyn, and the short-lived romance with Maddie Healy, the holy trinity of Taylor's love life, all dangling like bait in the claws of Blake Lively, who apparently thinks extortion is just a cute PR move.
She shared raw details about the breakup with her boyfriend of 6 years, Joe Alwyn, or her brief romance with British rocker Maddie Healy.
And here's where it gets really laughable. Taylor Swift, global megastar, billionaire icon, unbothered queen, is staying silent. Not because she's scared, not because she's guilty, but because she's clearly strategizing. And that silence, it's not weakness. It's a setup, a trap, the kind of silence you hear right before an avalanche crushes the village.
Taylor now is okay testifying. That would be insane. Now, testifying in this case won't help Taylor Swift at all unless she's a victim of Blake Lively and she unequivocally explains that to the court and says, yeah, I was doing my best. I had no idea. I was just supporting my friend.
Meanwhile, over in political clown town, Donald Trump decided to insert himself into this celebrity catfight because why wouldn't he? He literally said Taylor Swift is no longer hot ever since he insulted her.
Taylor Swift beefing with Donald Trump. He says she's no longer hot. We'll share that story.
Sir, you're out here comparing career heat levels while Taylor is boosting the GDP of entire cities just by performing there, and you can't even fill a bingo hall. And let's be real. This man thinking he can affect Swift's relevance is the real fantasy storyline here. But back to Blake, because this is where things get deliciously tragic. She told the world that other women would support her sexual harassment claims against Baldoni, saying, "John, just wait. More people are coming forward." Okay, we waited. We're still waiting. Any minute now. And crickets.
Lively said will be coming forward in this lawsuit. Now, it was revealed early on, no, there's other people that are going to testify. As far as we know right now,
the two names floated as possible witnesses were Jenny Slate and Isabel Furman. Jenny, who had issues with a rental during filming because the window was unsafe for her toddler. And what did Baldoni's team do? Did they threaten her? Gaslight her? Nope. They paid her $17,000 a month to stay somewhere safer. That's not harassment. That's 5-star Airbnb concierge service.
Wayfarer guys, Baldoni and Heath, who are in this lawsuit, Justin and his partner, Jamie Heath, they got her, this Jenny Slate, she had an Airbnb.
And Isabel Furman, who played young Blake in the film. Guess what? She hasn't said one bad word about Baldoni. In fact, she's been supportive. That's right. Blake's supposed backup squad is out here sipping tea in Switzerland while she's screaming into the void. Oh, guys, where are you?
It was like, it's dangerous. My child can fall out the window. It's a dangerous window here. I have a 3-year-old. I cannot. I'm so scared to be in this place. And they said, oh my God, you're a mother with that on your mind. We are going to, and they rent her own new place for $17,000 a month, and Wayfarer picks it up.
Even Blake's legal team can't keep the act together. There have been 0 subpoenas for these key witnesses. Nothing. Not even a vague rumor of a court date. That's not building a case. That's building a Netflix original where all the actors quit mid-season. Let's be clear. This isn't a legal takedown. It's a PR stunt gone rogue. And now Blake is sitting in the ruins, hair perfectly curled, courtroom photographer on speed dial, pretending it's all going according to plan. It's not.
Blake Lively tried to extort Taylor Swift. The judge kicks that out of the docket because it has to do with a different court case in Washington that's kind of parallel to this.
Now, let's circle back to Taylor, because the more you look at her silence, the louder it gets. People said she was panicking, maybe, but not for the reasons Blake thinks. Taylor wasn't scared of being exposed. She was scared of being manipulated. She knows Blake's game. She's seen how this woman twists screenshots, cherry-picks texts, and weaponizes context like a toddler with scissors.
So, of course, she does have texts that Blake Lively don't want to have out there. So why would Blake threaten to expose these texts while she knows that Taylor Swift has text messages to expose her?
According to the Daily Mail, those messages allegedly include intimate details about Travis Kelce. Do you think Taylor's okay with that going viral just because her former friend decided to make her mess everyone else's business too? That's why she's keeping it classy and staying silent. But behind the scenes, you can bet she's ready with lawyers, hard drives, and receipts so damning they could make entire PR agencies quit on the spot.
Friedman airing out Taylor Swift's dirty laundry, and I say dirty laundry, but it's really Blake Lively's dirty laundry, and exposing what Taylor Swift had to deal with, which was Blake Lively trying to coerce her to come forward, or I'm going to release all these text messages.
Gigi Hadid didn't just drop Blake Lively. She ghosted her with grace, strategy, and a silence that screams louder than any breakup announcement. This was Gigi's 30th birthday, and let's be real. If you're not on the guest list for your close friend's milestone party, you're not just out, you're excommunicated, you're done. You've been spiritually blocked.
Who now publicly took a step away from Blake Lively. And as we know, she didn't invite her to her 30th birthday just a few weeks ago.
No IG tag, no photo dump, not even a crumb of a cupcake. And who's Gigi dating now? Just Bradley Cooper, the very man Blake sneakily name-dropped in the credits of It Ends With Us like a desperate teen hoping their crush would notice. But here's the part that really cooks my brain. Blake publicly thanked Bradley Cooper in the end credits of a movie he didn't even officially work on, but didn't thank Gigi, her supposed BFF. Not even a thanks for always being hot and famous, courtesy nod. Just a big fat nothing. That's not an oversight. That's a signal, a neon blinking billboard that says, I've been cut off from the inner circle and I know it.
I think it's weird that she would thank Bradley Cooper and not Gigi Hadid. If she thanked both of them, it would be like, you're my friends, I'm thanking you. But it was weird that she only thanked Brad.
And now we get to Cara Delevingne, aka the one woman in Hollywood you do not want on your bad side. Cara is chaos. Sure, but she's the kind of chaos that tells the truth and doesn't tolerate snakes. And guess what? She unfollowed Blake, which in celebrity terms is like filing for social divorce with full custody of the group chat. Sources say she's furious about Blake's manipulative tactics, especially the betrayal of Taylor Swift.
Big celebrity who has allegedly unfollowed Blake Lively. According to Katie from Without a Crystal Ball, Cara Delevingne has unfollowed Blake Lively.
Cara's been in Taylor's corner through thick, thin, and several eras. She's not the type to be wooed by fake apologies or staged brunches. She sees Blake for what she is now, a walking PR liability wrapped in a vintage Chanel jacket. And when Cara unfollows you, she's not just deleting you from her feed. She's sending a message, one that says, "You're not just wrong. You're radioactive."
Cara Delevingne is a girl who doesn't take any BS. She's not the kind of person that you bully around. I have to say I've met Cara Delevingne a few times and I really like her. She's like, she's honest, she's open, she's like, what you see is what you get with her.
And these moves, they're not isolated. This isn't a string of random unfollows and birthday snubs. This is the Hollywood equivalent of an evacuation order. Everyone is sprinting away from Blake like she's the final boss in a career-ending video game. At this point, she's not controversial, she's contaminated. She's become too toxic to tag, too risky to sit next to, and too unstable to text without a lawyer on standby.
Celebrities to know that Blake Lively is capable of blackmailing other stars and reveal private information about them, that she's willing to go there.
Now, let's talk about Hugh Jackman, because what even is going on here? Out of nowhere, Hugh posts this weirdly overproduced tribute to Blake.
What do they have on Hugh Jackman?
It's a glowing photo edit, music, yellow hearts, and all, like, sir, were you hacked by a 13-year-old fan account? And here's the thing. He wasn't even at the event, didn't attend, didn't speak. He just slapped together this sentimental Instagram love letter and dropped it like it made sense.
This doesn't make any sense to me. Hugh Jackman was not at this event, and still he reposted a photo of Blake Lively and this artist, and he didn't even just repost it, he made it into a video with glowy.
But nothing about it makes sense. Fans instantly clocked it as bizarre, and now the speculation is boiling. Do Blake and Ryan have dirt on Hugh Jackman? Because honestly, it's starting to look like a hostage situation. Before all this courtroom chaos, Hugh never went out of his way to publicly praise Blake. Now, suddenly, he's waving pom-poms for Team Lively Reynolds like his life depends on it.
He makes sure to let the world again know that he is really Team Blake and Ryan and that he supports the most hated couple in Hollywood right now. Why is Hugh Jackman doing that? What? This is what I'm thinking. What do they have on Hugh Jackman?
Something is off. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe Hugh just felt weirdly emotional and decided to stan Blake for no reason. Or maybe, and I'm just saying maybe, Blake's got leverage. Because, let's be honest, if she can threaten Taylor Swift, what makes you think Hugh Jackman is off limits? He's been tight with Ryan Reynolds for years. Maybe he got looped into the group text from hell and now can't escape without losing half his career. The whole thing reeks of damage control disguised as friendship with a side of digital Stockholm syndrome.
Because the way that she's treated Taylor Swift, who's like one of the most powerful women, the superstars in the world, and she had the guts to blackmail her, would they do that to Hugh Jackman too?
And just when you think it couldn't get thirstier, Blake pulls the most desperate PR stunt of the year. She's out every single night attending events, tagging celebrities, reposting praise, and pretending she's living her best life, all while her career, reputation, and credibility implode in real time. On May 15th, 2025, she appeared at an art exhibit because of course she did, where she posted a warm, fuzzy message about being loved by family for 20 years. Translation: please believe I'm not canceled. I have friends, I swear.
She posted from that event a picture of her family and saying beautiful things about, oh, these people have been my family for 20 years, just telling everyone, like, I have a lot of people that love.
The irony? Hugh Jackman reposted that moment even though he wasn't there. And Salma Hayek just so happened to be dining with Blake in NYC the very next night. It was so obviously staged that the only thing missing was a boom mic and clapperboard. Multiple sources claimed the paparazzi didn't just show up. They were invited, because nothing screams authenticity like coordinating your spontaneous dinner with tabloid flashbulbs.
And he added to the photo, because this guy said, love Blake Lively so much. And then Hugh Jackman put music to it and made it into this thing. And then he said, I love her too, with a yellow heart at Blake Lively at Guy Roche. That's probably his name.
The desperation is leaking from every filtered photo, and the public isn't dumb. People are asking, how is a mother of 4, in the middle of one of Hollywood's messiest scandals, out partying every night like she's 22 and invincible? Who's watching the kids? Who's watching her PR team have an aneurysm every time she steps out in another sequin distraction dress while journalists dissect court filings? This is the woman who once sold herself as America's sweetheart, the cool girl who married Deadpool, baked cookies for Taylor Swift, and never got her hands dirty. Now she's spiraling in sequins, alienating her friends, and leaning on half-hearted endorsements from people who look like they're blinking twice for help.
I was just supporting my friend, and then, she wanted me to support her publicly, but the information didn't line up, so I didn't want to do that, and she was threatening to air our text messages. At this point, the only thing keeping Taylor Swift silent is seemingly whatever blackmail Blake Lively might have on her.
And look, we all love a comeback story, but Blake isn't writing one. She's writing a cautionary tale, the kind they tell new celebrities when they first get famous. Don't be a Blake. Don't bite the hand that fed you, and then post about it in a pastel filter. Now she's got Gigi, Cara, maybe Hugh, and half of Hollywood either cutting ties or side-eyeing her from across the room. The rest? They're waiting, watching, counting how many more nights she can fake smile through this before the weight of her lies finally crushes her. And let's talk about the absolute joke of a thank you note Blake slapped onto the end credits of It Ends With Us. Guess who got a glowing mention? Bradley Cooper. Yeah, Bradley Cooper, the same man who by all official accounts had nothing to do with the production. Nothing. But there he is, credited like he personally built the set with his bare hands.
It's Bradley Cooper, and there's been a lot of speculations that Bradley Cooper played a role in the final editing of the movie. As we know, Blake Lively completely took over from Justin Baldoni, and he never even saw the final movie before it premiered.
Now, let's be generous and assume this wasn't just Blake trying to attach A-list glue to a crumbling dollar store project. Rumors say Cooper didn't just give moral support. He helped Blake edit the movie, maybe even directed parts of it behind Justin Baldon's back. And if that's true, she didn't just break rules. She practically used the Directors Guild of America handbook as a napkin.
Here's the thing that this person pointed out to me. So the Directors Guild of America has really strict rules. And of course, Bradley Cooper is a director as well. And of course, he's a member. And as we know, Justin Baldoni is a member of Directors Guild of America, DGA.
Here's why this matters. The DGA isn't just some fan club. It has strict rules. One of them states that only one director can make creative decisions, especially in post-production. Editing a film without the actual director's consent isn't just helping out a friend. That's co-directing without credit, a violation serious enough to get you fined, suspended, or even expelled from the guild.
And it says here that they have strict rules to protect the creative authority and final decision-making of the credited director on the film. One of their core principles is directorial authorship, and they seek to prevent interference from producers, actors, or other directors in the editing or creative process once a director is officially attached.
So now Bradley Cooper, Oscar nominee and Hollywood golden boy, might have been roped into a career-ruining mess just because Blake couldn't stay in her lane. Imagine ghost directing a movie and then getting publicly thanked like you accidentally confessed on camera. It's like Blake handed him a live grenade and said, "Here, smile for the photo."
Even helping in the editing room could be a gray area if it crosses the line from support to creative decision-making, especially if it influences final cuts, pacing, or scene structure. The DGA could view that as unauthorized co-direction. And of course, that would be the case.
And for what? For a movie so messy that Baldoni didn't even see the final cut before it premiered. Blake hijacked the project, rewrote scenes, and cast herself as the lead. This was basically an Instagram skit. And now she's casually dragging major names into her chaos like it's some networking brunch. Bradley Cooper didn't just walk into a DGA landmine. Blake might have tossed him onto it blindfolded.
Cooper, as a DGA member, is expected to honor the guild jurisdictional boundaries. The DGA has rules that prohibit one director from secretly co-directing or ghost-directing another DGI director's film.
And look, if this blows up, Cooper won't be the one left explaining it, Blake will. Because once the DGA starts sniffing around, they won't care about her Pinterest aesthetic or pastel font PR apologies. They'll ask one thing. Why was this actor making creative calls on a director's film without permission? And the answer, unfortunately, is probably because Blake said so.
I think it would be possible that same thing with Bradley Cooper. He was just helping Blake direct her movie that she wasn't the director of. And so this could potentially get Bradley Cooper into trouble.
Now, while we're on the topic of fake narratives, let's clean up the wreckage of her case against Justin Baldoni, because it's not just falling apart, it's dissolving like cotton candy in a rainstorm. Blake claims she had more victims, more stories, more proof. Where are they? Where is this damning evidence she swore would surface? Still in her imagination, apparently, because not one new complaint has emerged. Meanwhile, the people who actually worked with Baldoni are lining up to say the complete opposite. From staff to interns, everyone describes him as respectful, professional, and kind. One intern even publicly stated he was never creepy, inappropriate, or even mildly weird. And let's be real, when interns are defending you, you know you're doing something right. Interns don't lie for free. But wait, it gets better. Jamie Heath, Baldoni's co-founder, personally handled the rental crisis for Jenny Slate during filming. Her first place had a toddler danger window, and instead of gaslighting her or brushing it off, Heath arranged a safer $17,000 per month apartment fully covered. That's not harassment. That's five-star babysitting. The only thing getting abused in this situation is the truth.
A text from Blake, and she sent a little video saying, I'm doing this thing.
And let's not forget Scarlett Johansson. This one hits close. Scarlett isn't just a Baldoni supporter. She's Ryan Reynolds' ex and allegedly the woman he cheated on with Blake. She has every reason to throw shade, and yet she's been nothing but professional about Baldoni's company. She praised their support and collaboration while working on her new film. No boys club vibe, no red flags, just quiet approval. Honestly, Scarlett's silence about Blake alone is louder than most courtroom testimony.
She says she hasn't met Justin Baldoni, but admits Blake Lively feud makes it weird timing because he produced her new movie. And not only that, she says that the new movie, things went well. Let's see, there's a quote in here that she got this movie Eleanor the Great coming out, and she said even though she's never met Baldoni, their company has been really great. They were super supportive throughout the process.
So, what are we left with? A lawsuit with no evidence, no witnesses, and no support. Blake built her case like it was made of gingerbread, and now it's collapsing under the weight of her own fiction. It's not just cracking, it's evaporating in real time, and all she can do is pose in selfies while the smoke rises.
We're not getting anything public from Scarlett Johansson, although we have seen several shady jokes made at Blake Lively from the Weekend Update desk. Scarlett Johansson, now married to Colin Jost, head writer of SNL.
May 18th, 2025. We've got exactly 0 witnesses willing to testify for her. Jenny Slate and Isabel Ferrer remain silent. Scarlett Johansson is publicly neutral, but clearly not Team Blake. Cara Delevingne blocked her like a bad habit. Gigi Hadid is nowhere in sight. Hugh Jackman posts love notes with the emotional energy of a man blinking help in Morse code. And let's not forget Donald Trump, who randomly jumped in to insult Taylor Swift again, because nothing says reliable source like a man on trial himself declaring Taylor no longer hot. All he did was give her more sympathy. Meanwhile, Blake's drama isn't even getting coverage anymore. You know it's bad when Trump gets more headlines for his Taylor takes than Blake does for her dying lawsuit. That's the real burn.
I don't know. I think Taylor Swift is still hot enough that she can deal with it. Yeah, that would be a new Taylor Swift song. Hot, question mark? I don't know. Either way, weird times. All right, we're going to dive into some interesting political stories here.
And now, with half of Blake's inner circle either running for the hills or pretending she doesn't exist, the entire PR machine she's been spinning looks less like strategy and more like pure delusion. She keeps trying to make Blake is the victim happen, but it's not happening. Hollywood sees through it. Fans see through it. Even her own friends are posting vague, choose peace quotes, tagging Taylor, and sharing support playlists. The final blow? That weird Hugh Jackman tribute. The music, the yellow heart, the vibe of a man trapped in a friendship contract written in invisible ink. People literally thought it was fake or AI generated. That's how suspicious it looked. And yet, Blake reposted it like it proved something. What it really proved is that even her last defenders are doing damage control on her behalf, not because they believe her, but because they're too scared to say no.
They have something on him as well that they are threatening to leak unless he keeps supporting them, because they don't have many friends right now. The only other friends that they have that's a celebrity is Salma Hayek, who I feel like she doesn't really know what she's doing.
This is no longer a legal battle. It's a Hollywood horror story told in Instagram slides and vague legal threats. It's a career implosion in slow motion, and the star of the show doesn't even realize she's the villain. She's still out here posting selfies, editing captions, and tagging stylists like that's going to undo the mountain of burned bridges behind her. The witnesses have vanished. The evidence is non-existent. The PR is dead. But Blake? She's still smiling, still posting, still pretending this isn't her own personal apocalypse playing out in real time, and that's the scariest part of all. Just like that, Blake's fairy tale crumbled into courtroom chaos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and buckle up, because this drama is far from over.